Hello Algebra 1. Today we are going to be quizzing on all different types of factoring, but first we're going to do a QQR. Your QQR, we're going to do the test review that's in your notes packet. Okay, so find your notes packet. It should be, I believe, the very last page in your notes packet, Day 16 test review. Okay, we're going to use this as our quick quiz review for today. All right, so again, you're in your notes packet, Day 16 test review, and we're going to come on down and we're just going to do the factoring and the solving portion. Okay, so factoring, we're going to do 5, 6, 7, and 9 here. And again, when you're factoring, the first thing you want to do is check whether you have a 1 in front of your x squared or some other number. If you just have a 1 in front, we can go straight to our factored form or our box problem, just one step here. So we're multiplying to 16 and we're adding to negative 10, and that should be a negative 8 and a negative 2. Okay, and that's all you have to do if you have a 1 in front. Now, in number 6, you see we have a 6 in front. So what we want to do is we want to check and first see if that 6 divides evenly into each of your terms. And I don't have my calculator displayed. I know that 30 is divisible by 6. I'm just typing that in. But the 216 I'll check. I'm just doing 216 divided by 6 in my calculator. And it does actually go in evenly. It gives you a 36. All right, so that confirms that your 6 is a GCF, which means we need 2 steps when we factor this. Okay, step 1 is to divide the 6 out of each term. So you'll have an x squared plus 6 times 5 is 30. And then what I just found was 6 times 36 is 216. And just make sure you have your negative there as well. Okay, now I'm ready to do my box problem. Okay, and again, your box problem is happening with this new step here. So we're multiplying to negative 36 and adding to 5. And that should be a 9 and a 4. But to get a positive 5, our 4 will have to be negative. Okay, and that would be your factored form. All right, let's take a look at 7. 7, I do not have a number in front of x squared other than 1, so this is a one-step problem. We'll go straight to our box problem. Multiplies to 144 and adds to negative 24. And that should be negative 12 and negative 12. Or we could write it like this. Okay, last one of these, number 9, 5x squared minus 80. We do have a number in front of x squared. Let's check and make sure 80 is divisible by 5. Just type it in your calculator, 80 over 5, and you get a 16. All right, so that sounds good. That means 5 is our GCF, and we have 2 steps. Okay, so step 1, divide out your 5. And 5 times 16, I found out, is 80. And then step 2, you're going to do your box problem. This means we're multiplying to negative 16 and adding to 0. And so those numbers would be a positive 4 and a negative 4. Make sure that 5 is still out front. All right, so that's our factoring. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do 3 problems that involve solving. Solving, if you remember, is when we have an equal sign. So if we come down to number 11, you do have an equal sign, but we're supposed to have an equal 0, and we do not. So what we'll do first is just subtract our 5x over. And since it's the x term, it needs to go in the middle. That's your b value. And then we need an equal 0. Okay, so that's your first step, get your equal 0. Next step, check and see what's going on with our x squared. It's just a 1 in front, so this is a one-stepper. Okay, you can go straight to your box problem. Multiplies to negative 24, adds to negative 5. It's a negative 8, positive 3. Don't lose your equal 0. And then remember, now that there is an equal sign, you have one more step. We're going to set each of your factors equal to 0, and then we'll solve for x. Okay, so I'm going to add 8. X equals 8. Subtract 3. x equals -3. Okay, and again, you should notice that your solutions are the opposite of what your factors were. All right, great. Let's do 2 more. 12 and 13, that's it. Actually, lies. We're not going to do 13. Number 12, that's it. So number 12, again, you should notice there isn't an equal, or there is an equal sign, excuse me, but there's not an equal 0. So we'll start by adding our 42 over. And since it's just the number, we're going to put it at the end. That's your C value. All right, so don't try to find numbers that multiply to 42 and add to 27. You're not going to find any, and that's because you have a number in front here. So you want to check if 3 goes into 27 and 42 evenly. You can just divide them, and they do. So that tells us we have 2 steps that we have to do for our factoring. First, we divide out the 3, then we do our box problem. Okay, so let's divide out our 3. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 42 divided by 3 is 14. Now you should be able to find your numbers. Multiplying to 14, adding to 9. And that's going to be a 7 and a 2, both positives. And then we're going to solve. Okay, I'm just setting these guys equal to 0. And again, since both of your factors were positive, both of your solutions will be negative. Okay, there you go. So that is your QQR. And now you want to go ahead and take your Canvas quiz. Or well, it is a Canvas quiz, but take your factoring quiz, your actual quiz. And if you have any questions, let me know. See you later. Bye.